The conference room on the 42nd floor overlooked the entire city. Inside sat 7 executives responsible for managing one of the fastest-growing technology companies in America. The quarterly board meeting was about to begin. Laptops were open. Coffee cups sat beside stacks of reports. Everything appeared normal. Then the doors opened. A woman stepped inside. She wore a navy blue suit and carried a small black folder. She wasn't accompanied by assistants. She wasn't introduced by security, and none of the executives recognized her. A few exchanged curious glances. One of them leaned toward another and whispered quietly, "Must be the new investor." The man beside him smirked. "Hopefully she understands business." A few chuckled. The woman heard every word, but she said nothing. Instead, she calmly sat at the far end of the table. For the next hour, she listened. She listened as executives dismissed employee concerns. She listened as they mocked younger staff members. She listened as they rejected innovative ideas without even reviewing them, and with every passing minute, she realized something disturbing. The company she had spent 22 years building was no longer being led by people who shared her values. What nobody in that room knew was that the woman sitting quietly among them wasn't a guest, she wasn't a new investor, she wasn't even a board observer. She was Amelia Grant, founder of the company, majority shareholder, owner of 78% of the business, and before the day was over, several careers would come to a very sudden end. The meeting continued. Victor Langford, the company's chief operating officer, controlled the room. He was charismatic, confident, and highly respected, at least on the surface. As the meeting progressed, a young analyst named Jasmine Reed entered carrying a presentation folder. Jasmine was 32 years old and a single mother raising her 8-year-old son alone. For 3 months she had worked late nights developing a proposal that could dramatically improve the company's newest product. After receiving approval from her department manager, she had finally been given 10 minutes to present it to executives. Nervously, she connected her laptop. "Good morning everyone. I've identified a market opportunity that could increase annual revenue by..." Victor interrupted. "Can we make this quick?" The room laughed. Jasmine forced a smile. She continued. 2 minutes later she explained how customers were leaving for competitors because of a major flaw in the company's software. Her solution was practical, affordable, and backed by extensive research. Before she could finish, Victor closed her presentation. "We've already made our decision." Jasmine blinked. "But sir, you haven't seen the data." "We don't need to." The room fell silent. Humiliation spread across Jasmine's face. She gathered her documents and quietly returned to her seat. Across the room, Amelia watched everything, and she didn't miss the satisfaction on Victor's face. The meeting continued for another hour. Executives discussed profits and expansion plans. Then disaster struck. A senior manager rushed into the room. His face was pale. "We have a serious problem." The room immediately tensed. "What happened?" Victor asked. "The software update launched this morning has failed." The room exploded with questions. The manager swallowed. "Thousands of clients are reporting system crashes. Several major contracts are threatening cancellation." Silence. Then panic. A projected loss estimate appeared on the screen. $250 million. Nobody spoke. The same executives who had laughed minutes earlier now stared at the numbers in disbelief. Victor ordered emergency meetings. Teams scrambled. Solutions were proposed and rejected. Hours passed. Nothing worked. Meanwhile Amelia remained silent, observing, listening, waiting. Then she noticed something. Jasmine had been quietly reviewing reports on her laptop. Unlike everyone else, she wasn't panicking. Finally Amelia stood. For the first time all day, she spoke. Her voice was calm. "Perhaps we should hear from Jasmine." The room turned. Victor frowned. "With respect, she's an analyst." Amelia smiled slightly. "And yet she appears to be the only person here who isn't confused." An uncomfortable silence followed. Reluctantly, Victor allowed Jasmine to speak. Jasmine walked to the screen. Her hands trembled. But once she began explaining, her confidence grew. Within minutes she identified the exact cause of the crisis. The failed update had created a compatibility issue with older systems, a problem she had predicted months earlier, a problem detailed in the presentation Victor refused to hear. The room became very quiet. Jasmine then revealed a recovery plan. Implementation would take only a few hours. The estimated savings, nearly $200 million. No one interrupted her. No one laughed. When she finished, the room erupted with questions. For the first time all day, Jasmine wasn't being ignored, she was being respected. By evening, Jasmine's solution had been implemented, customer complaints dropped dramatically, major contracts were saved, the crisis was under control, relief swept through the company. Victor smiled nervously. It appears everything worked out. Amelia slowly closed her folder, then she stood, the room instantly fell silent. There was something different about her now, something commanding, powerful, confident. She looked directly at Victor. No, her voice was firm. It didn't work out. The room froze. Victor frowned. What do you mean? Amelia placed a document on the table. The crisis was preventable. Another document followed. Employee concerns were ignored. A third, talented staff members were dismissed. Then Amelia looked around the room. For the first time all day, every executive seemed nervous. She finally spoke the words that changed everything. My name is Amelia Grant. Silence. I founded this company 22 years ago. Nobody moved. I currently own 78% of this business. The room looked as if the air had been sucked from it. Victor's face turned pale. One executive dropped his pen, another stared. In complete disbelief, the woman they had mocked, ignored, and underestimated all day, owned the company. The following morning an emergency board meeting was held. After reviewing evidence gathered over several months, Amelia made her decision. Victor Langford was terminated. 2 other executives were removed from leadership positions, several departments were restructured, new employee review systems were introduced, and for the first time in years, staff members felt their voices mattered. Then Amelia called Jasmine into her office. Jasmine expected a routine conversation. Instead, Amelia handed her a new contract. Jasmine stared at it, her eyes widened. Vice President of Product Innovation. The salary was more money than she had ever imagined earning. Tears filled her eyes. I don't know what to say. Amelia smiled. You already said it. Jasmine looked confused. When everyone else stopped listening, you kept trying to help. For a moment neither woman spoke. Then Amelia added something Jasmine would never forget. The most valuable people in any company are often the ones nobody bothers to hear.